The Seattle Seahawks Week 18 have just shown the entire world exactly why they are the one seed, and I'm going to go ahead and break that down for you guys right now. But really quickly, this is my second video. If you guys watched the first one, big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. It has over 1,000 views. It is the very next day that I am recording this, and yeah, I really appreciate it, guys, and I really hope that you guys continue to enjoy. But for that reason alone, I want you guys to take a look at that subscribe button and think about maybe if you want to go ahead and press it, and I would really appreciate that. I'm obviously starting up. I'm trying to find more reasons to keep on going, of course, because I obviously don't want to stop. And if you guys enjoy it, of course I won't stop. So go ahead and do that for me, and I would really appreciate that. So we're going to go ahead and break down this game, though. And we want to start on this play right here. Now, the tight end is going to motion across, and he's going to go ahead and sit right here. And Kenneth Walker, he's right here behind this fullback. And what you're going to see is him, is obviously, like I said, the tight end is going to motion over here. The goal being in order to try to move this linebacker over to mimic him, especially if it's man coverage. That helps a lot. Now, he doesn't end up doing that, though. He does end up just coming inside a little bit, but that actually still gives the big favorable look that they were looking for. And you're going to watch. I especially want you to watch after this motion really quick. I want you to see this here. As I said, he's going to move across just a little bit. And I want you to take a look at Big Dog 74, this entire play. I'm going to keep on mentioning him, and it's going to come back big in a moment. I just want to say that this dude, he has incredible effort. As well as Gray's Abel as well, who's sitting right next to him, 76. He is phenomenal. He's been one of the best offensive linemen to come out of the draft so far, and he's going to help on this play a whole lot too. But I do want you to take a look at 74 and his effort. It is phenomenal. Now, take a quick look at the snap. After the snap, you can see 61 immediately climb to try and make this block. Some people may want him to make this block. The reason why is the fullback got him. And not only that, but if in whatever world happens that they don't got him, Kenneth Walker can go ahead and make an inside cut and try and do a little bit of that action if this doesn't get blocked. And of course, it's going to get blocked. And then you have one-on-one over here, one-on-one over here. And then, as I said before, 74, he's going to sit here for a moment, but I want you to look at the effort on the rest of the play. It's going to be quite good. And of course, 81 right here, he is the tight end. He's going to make the solo block. These guys are essentially out of the play. The play is going right. These guys are too far left to make any impact. And I also want you to take a look at number 10, Cooper Kupp right here. He's going to make his way over here and also start blocking over here. And he gives some pretty dang good effort that gives Kenneth Walker a good amount of yardage extra. Now, like I said, they're going to climb, and you're going to see the big fullback. He's going to go ahead and make this block. And Kenneth Walker, he has a lot of options here because he can go ahead and make this outside and go one-on-one against the safety and maybe end up with a corner coming up. And if this block doesn't end up being good, which it may or may not, depending on the level of fullback you have and also the level of the linebacker he's blocking, you may get caught from behind, but it may also have some of the best outlook. Now, of course, you can also go between 61 and 76, Gray's Abel, and that is an option, but the fear is he is already facing this direction. He can go ahead and make that tackle. Now, Kenneth Walker is going to go with the last option, which is to break it inside, and he's going to go ahead and make an inside play, and he's going to have all this green grass ahead of him. So naturally, that seems like a good choice. It will be the choice, and he's going to climb up. And as I said before, watch 74 on this key block. This block is exactly what makes this play happen. Again, as well, Cooper Kupp is going to make a key block on this play as well. He's going to stop the safety from actually getting to Kenneth Walker and making the breakdown. Kenneth Walker is going to maintain right here and break it outside, and unfortunately going to get caught by some of these defensive linemen, but it's still going to be a big pickup, and it's going to be the one of the plays that establishes the run for Seattle throughout this game. So in this clip, what you're going to see is Cooper Kupp is actually going to come in motion right here, and then he's going to end up right here. Uh, Now, the point of this is to try and actually attract more people to this side over here. Hopefully, maybe a linebacker will follow and just try to mirror it or whatnot. And the reason why is the entire design of this play is intended to move everybody from here to here. Try and read this run right here. Try to say, hey, we have our big man right here, Zach Charbonnet, and he's going to just power straight through. It's a lie. And you can see the concept begin to unfold right here, where you have Cooper Kupp line up right here. He ends up bringing a DB with him. So now you have this little stack over here, and then of course everybody's going to be misdirected over this way. And the way that they're going to do that is you're going to have the tackle block down this way. You're going to have Gray Zabel block down this way. Center will block down this way. You're going to have him double team and then climb to backer. And then you're going to have him on the edge guy. And Zach Charbonnet is going to take the handoff over here, and he's going to go out wide. You have the tight end in order to block the edge, and now he's one-on-one with a linebacker that's going to hopefully, if all goes to plan, bite down into the B or the C gap. The A or the B gap. That's my bad. I misspoke. And it's perfectly executed. Take a look at this. He takes the snap, and everything I just described happens perfectly. Everybody goes down here. He's waiting in order to be able to make a tackle down here. He is coming in laterally in order to be able to make the tackle. And the handoff is right here. It looks like it's going to be a blown-up run immediately. And Zach Charbonnet, he's just going to cut really quickly outside, and there's the isolation right here, and he's going to be forced to come down and take the tackle. And he's going to be on the wrong side because what is he reading? His eyes are on the gap because he's waiting for the perfect time to crash down. And he's never going to do that because Zach Charbonnet, being he, is going to be right here. Now, this actually looks like a situation where he can make the tackle, but Zach Charbonnet is actually just going to just outrun laterally. And the tackle's just going to make an early dive, and that's just what's going to set up this huge play. Well, sorry, not an early dive, a late dive. And he's just barely going to get a hand on him, and he does not really have the best angle, so he probably realistically should be running just horizontally, and instead he is bolting downward, and that gives Zach Charbonnet the perfect way to just make an angle out here and never get caught. As you can see right here, and he tries, and he just doesn't have the right angle, and Zach Charbonnet makes it in for the first and only touchdown of the entire football game right there. All right, it's been pretty obvious how the Seahawks have dominated on the offense, specifically offensive line and running back play, but I want to show the other side of the trenches. Now, I know I did something very similar with Miami and Ohio State, but here's the thing. This is a very different look that you saw from Ohio State versus here. Ohio State and Miami just pretty much faked the blitzes and just continuously were able to put 3-on-4 situations against offensive linemen that were not developed. These are offensive linemen in the NFL, and they are clearly, no matter what, you can say what you want about them, but they will hold their own on most reps. Now, this Seahawks defensive line is just absolutely insane, and we're actually going to look at more than the defensive line in this same clip, except I'm going to change the view, and you're going to see the entire coverage and whatnot. But I want to start with this. Here you have an edge who's very far out. He looks like he may be in a 7 or 9 technique, and he's trying to just get an outside angle on him. You have a very similar thing right here. I think he's actually trying to chip here and then run inside. And they're actually kind of disguising this. It's very difficult for Brock Purdy to figure out what's going on because you have so many guys in the box, and there's a lot of reasons you can have that. Nick Emanwari can be on a man here, and then you have a man against Christian McCaffrey, then a man against the tight end Tongs, and then you have a man here on the wide receiver, and then you have a guy who can drop back. Now, that is just one of the many things. You can also read this as blitz. They could be going here, 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 and then try to double on this tackle, the guy who's replacing Trent Williams for the game, and try to make him feel the pressure. And so there's a lot of different reads that you can make right here. On top of that, you can also see this as here, 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 just rushing 4, and then zone, zone, out, zone, and this guy drops back, and it's cover 3. So there's a lot of different situations that Brock Purdy can be looking at this, and he actually ends up reading it fairly well. The issue is nobody ends up getting open, and he starts to feel the pressure very quickly. This isn't just the D line. Of course, the D line is doing very good, but this is also the very smart play calling by the defensive coordinator, who's able to recognize that this is a pinpoint where we can try and exploit. And that's exactly what they do here. They're going to actually blitz, abuse this, and then go ahead and try and see if maybe they can force the tight end to stay. If he doesn't stay, then you have 3 guys rushing 2 gaps, and that means someone will be let through. Or at the very least, the offensive line is going to have a difficult time, and Brock Purdy will feel the pressure. And so here's what we're going to end up seeing, and we're going to just go ahead and take a look at this from this angle specifically. As you can see, what I said, and they end up adjusting fairly well as an offensive line. And there's nothing here. Really, he looks like he's getting ready to hit a spin move, which might be successful. And then right here, though, there's this big hole. Now, the offensive lineman recognizes that there's a lot of space right here. He's a lot faster, so he's going to try to adjust by taking a kick step out this way, right? And by going this way, what that means is he can fake him out and just try to make it right there. It's all about the footwork, really. And so when he tries to kick backwards, you'll see 42 go ahead and just move the other direction. Because of the momentum moving backwards, the offensive lineman's not able to stop him, and he's going to get almost straight to Brock Purdy. And the moment that happens, of course, Brock Purdy's going to read that roll out. And what's important here is the Seahawks tackling ability, because they're able to recognize the moment that he rolls out, and you're going to have a million guys just swarm towards the football, and he's not going to be able to go anywhere. In fact, you'll see in the other clips that the DBs are going to recognize the moment that he's too far gone, and they're going to even try to come down and make the tackle. They won't, but it's very good pursuit by the defense, very good coaching overall, and you're going to see this happen right here. As I said, the spin move is going to be the key to go ahead and make that tackle, and he's going to try to make the tackle number, I believe that's 41, and he's going to help get Brock Purdy on the 1 yard sack, which 1 yard obviously isn't a lot, but in this situation, it was a crucial down, and he's going to get there. And like I said, we're going to look at this from the sideline angle as well. And here you're going to see, obviously, the same thing as before, and then I want you to watch the routes. This route is going to go essentially straight. Right here, pardon me, this route's going to go straight. It's going to be streak, and then you're going to have that. It's a dagger concept, and then you're going to have this just be somewhat of a corner / deep out. It's hard to tell from the angle what it's supposed to be. And then Christian McCaffrey is just going to spill out here, be the check down option in case they blitz, which is actually perfect for the situation that they're running. The issue is the dominance of the actual line, because they are going to get there before Brock Purdy has time to make his reads, and it's going to be a massive, massive defensive stop here, because as you can see here, you're going to have what is essentially man coverage mixed. It's going to be a match look, and so this side is going to be some man, and then this side is going to be zone. And no, it's going to be a match concept. And so this guy is going to be manned up here. You're going to have him playing the middle zone. You're going to have the safety come down and start playing man-ish here. He has the flat, and then you have just the deep safety that's covering this guy. And so as pressure gets there, Brock Purdy is going to have a hard time reading this. And honestly, there's not really anyone that's going to be super open here. You have the tight end right here who's covered by the safety. And even if Brock Purdy threw this on a rope, you have a lurking corner who can go ahead and try to make that catch and lead to an interception. That's not an option. The dig, too, is also not an option because you have the linebacker who's able to make that read. His eyes are on the quarterback playing zone, so he knows exactly what's going to happen. The flat right here is, of course, also going to have a very similar situation after the dig develops even more. And so, really, there's not much of an open option. Brock Purdy could potentially seam this right here, and that's just a very difficult throw to make, and it's honestly a hospital ball. You don't want to get your wide receivers hurt. And of course, this is just a throwaway option. It's meant to get rid of the safety, but it doesn't work out because of the fact that you have the dig covered by two guys anyways. And obviously, like I said, the check down right here is Christian McCaffrey, and he is not really being watched very well by this linebacker because he's playing the zone and not really realizing he's there. Brock Purdy also is unable to make that read, though, because of how much pressure he's under. As you can see as well, you already have a breach in the pocket by the time McCaffrey even comes out into his route. And then you have someone right here who's actually looking like he's being held by the skin of his teeth right now. And so, of course, he sees the option, which is tons of green grass. You can see him coming down because he realizes that there's a run going on, and the Seahawks are just incredible at making this quick adjustment and then tackling Brock Purdy for a 1-yard loss. The coverage was great on that play, as you could hear and see, and of course, the D line was incredible. Now, this play is the last play I want to cover, and it's what I like to call a tone setter. This is on 4th and 1 in the very first quarter. They're trying to go ahead and set the tone themselves as well. Try and say, hey, we'll beat you on 4th down. We'll beat you anywhere. We're one of the top offenses in the league. And so, of course, naturally, seeing Christian McCaffrey in the backfield, they come out in this funnel formation with the linebacker here ready to fill into the A-gap because they suspect that could be a run. But what you're actually going to see is they're going to read the play action perfectly, and both edges are actually going to come out and try and take these tackles on one-on-one, again, abusing the fact that they have a backup left tackle in, and they want to try and make things hard for him because he expects to be able to down block right here, of course, and that's not going to be what's going to be able to happen. He's probably going to have to take a few steps back, and this is going to be a play action pass by Brock Purdy. You're also going to see a motion from Kyle Juszczyk here, and he's going to go ahead and run this flat / out, and he's going to motion out, as you can see here. Brock Purdy calls it, and then it's going to be snapped. And the O-line does a pretty good job with the play action. And they all come in towards the funnel for a moment, and then you're going to see them sidestep out of it, both of them. And they're going to cover the run pretty well. Now, the linebackers somewhat bite, and then you're actually going to see that they actually designed a blitz, and it works perfectly, whether it's against the pass or the run. It ends up working out very well, as they bring an extra guy right here, and they bring this guy right here. And so they're able to fill pretty much all the gaps pretty well, and Brock Purdy's going to find himself under pressure very quickly. Now, Zero here, he's out now won this block very well. You're going to see Christian McCaffrey, who's, like I said, in play action, he's going to chop block him. It's not going to work out very well, and this guy's going to come down, and you're going to have a beat right here. And so Brock Purdy's going to be a ton of pressure, and again, it's great defense outside as well. You can just know that right now. I'm not going to show the sideline view. You're going to see the pass and the incompletion, but it's a very well played thing. And look at this. This man goes like Brian Dawkins, and he starts bear crawling across the ground to get to Brock Purdy. And it's just, what a play, man, by the defense. this is the type of stuff they're able to do. And this is exactly why they're in this situation. Brock Purdy throws it really quickly. Remember, it's fourth down, so he's just going to throw a ball straight to it. And again, great pursuit. Look at this. Look at this. They're all going straight towards the football. Even here, he's going straight towards the football. He's going straight towards the football. They're doing anything that they can immediately. That's some discipline from some NFL players. You would think most NFL players do that. Unfortunately, that's not the case. But here on this defense, they are extremely well coached squad. And you're going to see, obviously, it's very blurry due to the motion. Of course, he's coming down too. And yeah, it's just going to be a great pass breakup. They both dive for it, and it doesn't get there, mainly due to the D-line play and just incredible coaching by this staff in order to make sure that they do precisely what they need to do to win a football game. And that's where I'm going to end this analysis personally. Uh, I think that this is a team to watch in the playoffs, personally, obviously, because they won the 1 seed and they didn't do it for nothing. But just looking at this defense, the way this defense goes, this offensive line has increased so much in talent in the last year or so. Gray Zabel was an amazing addition, and quite frankly, everybody has just outperformed themselves from previous situations, and it shows. And Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, I know that all fantasy owners hate to see Zach Charbonnet on the field when they have K9, and they hate to see K9 on the field when they have Zach Charbonnet. But in the end, it's a very, very good look, and they're starting to prove why most NFL teams prefer to have a running back by committee. And it's because both of these guys perform at a very high level, and it allows the others to rest and go ahead and play at their best when they need to. And so, like I said, that's going to be it. I want to remind everybody, please go ahead and subscribe if you enjoy the content. It really means a whole lot to me. And I'm going to see you guys as soon as possible. In case you didn't see my community post as well, I'm going to be posting my Fernando Mendoza draft breakdown, likely following Super Bowl week. So go ahead and look out for that. I'm going to find more things to analyze. I'm going to find more things to send you guys in the meantime in terms of things to take a look at. I'll analyze the wild card games and whatnot. And so, hope everybody has a great day, night, evening, afternoon, no matter what you're doing, and peace.